Hello and welcome back to Him Reads as we continue with The Little Princess. Chapter 9, One of the Populace. Yes, Crew had some pet name for her, Miss Carrisford went on, but these wretched mice drove everything out of our heads. We talked of nothing else. If Crew ever spoke of the school his daughter attends, I forgot. Now I shall never remember. Come, come, said Mr. Carmichael, lighting his pipe. We shall find this young girl yet. We will continue the search for Madame Pascal's Russian. She seemed to have a vague idea that they lived in Moscow. We will take that as a clue. I will go to Moscow as soon as possible. If I were able to travel, I would go with you, said Mr. Carrisford. But I can only sit here wrapped up staring at the fire. When I looked in, I could almost see Crew's face gazing back at me. It's as if he were asking me a question. He always says, "Tom, old man, where is my girl?" He caught Mr. Carmichael's hand and clung to him. I must be able to answer him. I must. You must help me to find her. On the other side of the wall, Sara was sitting in the attic talking to Melchizedek, who had come out for his evening meal. It has been hard to be a princess today, Melchizedek, she said. It gets harder as the weather gets colder and the streets get icy and muddy and slippery. When Lavina laughed at my muddy skirt and I passed her in the hall, I thought of something to say in return. Only I stopped myself in time. You can't sneer back at people like that if you are a princess. Instead, I just bit my tongue and went on my way. Then suddenly she saw her head down on her arms, as she often did when she was alone. "Oh, Father," she whispered, what a long time it seems like since I was your little girl." As the days passed by, the winter continues to be a wretched one. There were times when Sara seemed to tramp endlessly through the slush and snow. The fog was so thick that the lamps in the street were lighted all day. No matter how bad the weather, there were always long and tiresome errands to be run. Sara was sent out again and again until her shabby clothes were damp throughout. The tattered feathers on her worn-out hat drooped more than before, and her thin shoes would not hold a drop more than water. One afternoon she would forget she had been deprived of her lunch because Miss Minchin was punishing her. Sara was so cold and hungry and tired that people passing by glimpsed at her with sympathy. Suppose I had dry clothes on, she thought, in a way she always pretended in painful moments. Suppose just when I am near a bakery I should find a sixpence that someone dropped. Suppose I should go by and buy 6 hot buns and eat them all without stopping. Some very odd things happen in this world sometimes. Just as she was crossing the street, making her way through the mud, Sara spied something bright and shiny near the gutter. It was actually a silver 4-penny piece, which she scooped right up. Amazingly, this all happened right outside a bakery shop. A stout, rosy-faced woman was putting out a tray of freshly baked hot cross buns with plump, sweet raisins in them into the window. She went inside to ask the woman if she'd lost anything. Just as she put her foot down on the first step, she noticed a little beggar girl, even more forlorn than herself, standing near the door. The poor, pathetic little creature was not much more than a bundle of rags. She had tangled hair, a dirty face, and a big, hollow, hungry eyes. "This child," Sara just is genuinely shocked, "is hungrier than I am." "Have you had any dinner?" Sara asked, feeling very sympathetic. "No dinner," the girl said hoarsely, shuffling back and forth. "Nor breakfast, nor lunch. No, nothing today." If I were a princess, Sara thought to herself, I should do as the royalty did in France when they were driven from their thrones. They always shared with the people they met someone poorer and hungrier. "Buns are a penny each. I can buy 4. It won't be enough for either of us. Will be better than nothing." "Wait a minute," she told the beggar girl. "I'll be back. Don't go away." Sara went into the bakery, which was warm and inviting with a tempting aroma of bread, tarts, cakes, and scones filling the air. The baker woman was getting ready to put more hot cross buns in the window. "Excuse me," said Sara, "have you lost a 4-pence by any chance?" With that, she held a little silver piece in the air. "Bless us, no," said the woman, who seemed very friendly and pleasant. "Did you find it?" "Yes," Sara told her, in the gutter. "Keep it then," said the woman. "It may have been out there a week, and you could never possibly find who lost it." "I know," Sara said, "but I just thought I would ask you." "Not many would," said the woman good-naturedly. "Do you want to buy funny?" "For one, to be pleased," said Sara. "That sell for a penny each." The The woman went into the window and put 6 buns on the bed. I said 4 if you please, Sarah explained. I only have 4 buns. I threw in 2 extra, said the woman, smiling. I dare say you can eat them sometime. Aren't you hungry? Yes, Sarah said, tears in her eyes. I'm very hungry. Thank you for your kindness. She was going to say that there was a child outside who was hungrier than she was. However, at that moment, their repeat customers came in at once, so she hurried out. The beggar girl, looking frightened in her wet, dirty rags, was huddled in the footsteps, crying and muttering to herself. Sarah opened the paper bag and took out one of the hot cross buns, which warmed her cold hands a bit. This bun is nice and hot, she said, putting the bread in the poor beggar girl's hand. Eat it and you will not feel so hungry. Immediately the child snatched up the bun and began to cram into her mouth with big wolfish bites. Oh my, Sarah heard her say hoarsely with delight. Sarah took out 3 more buns and gave it to her. The sounds made the poor famished girl made were awful. She's hungrier than I am, Sarah said to herself. She is starving. I'm not starving. With that, she gave the girl her 4th and 5th buns. The little creature was still devouring the bread when Sarah was on her way. She was much too hungry to thank Sarah, even if she had the manners to do so. She was more like a little wild animal than a human being. Just as Sarah departed, the woman from the baker peered out of the front window. Well, I never, she exclaimed. If that youngster hasn't given her the buns to a better child, it wasn't because she didn't want them either. She looked hungry enough to me. I'd give anything to know why she did it. Finally, her curiosity got the better of her. She went to the door and asked the little ragamuffin who had been giving her the buns. The child nodded her head towards Sarah's vanishing figure. Gave me 5, she said. Then only left 1 for herself, the woman said in a low voice. And she could have eaten all 6. I saw that look in her eyes. The woman gazed after Sarah's retreating figure as she turned the corner, feeling more disturbed and uncomfortable than she had been in a long time. I wish that sweet little girl hadn't disappeared so fast, she thought. I wouldn't have given her a dozen buns. Then she turned to the little one standing before her. Are you hungry? She asked. I'm always hungry, the little girl said, but it wasn't as bad as it was. Come in here, said the woman, holding the shop door open. The little girl got up and shuffled inside. It was an incredible thing for her to be invited to such a warm place, full of bread and other good things to eat. She did not know what was going to happen. She did not even care. Try and get warm, the woman said, pointing to a fire in the tiny back room. And look here, what you need is a bit of bread. You can come and just ask for it. I'm going to give it to you just for that young one's sake. Sarah found some comfort in her remaining bun. At least it was very hot, and it was better than nothing. As she walked along, she broke off small pieces and ate them slowly to make them last longer. It was dark when she reached the square where the boarding school was located. The lights in the house were all ablaze, and Sarah caught a glimpse of the large family. The evening and the family was all gathered around Mr. Carmichael, whom she called Mr. Montmorency, as she prepared to leave on a trip. A horse and carriage stood waiting at the curb with a big trunk trapped on the top. A pretty mother standing near the husband, asking last-minute questions, while he was kissing all the children goodbye. I wonder if he'll be away long, Sarah whispered to herself. Oh dear, how they will miss him. I shall miss him myself, even though he doesn't know I'm alive. When the front door opened, she moved into the shadows. Mr. Carmichael stopped outside and stood against the background of the brightly lighted hall. Will Moscow ever be covered with snow? Asked Janet. Will there be ice everywhere? I will write and tell you all about it, her father said, laughing. Then Mr. Carmichael sat down and climbed in the carriage. If you find the little girl, give her my love, Guy Clarence shouted, jumping up and down on the doormat. Did you see, said Janet to Nora as they all went inside. The little girl who is not a beggar was passing by. She seemed awfully cold and wet. Mama says her clothes look like hand-me-downs from someone rich. Sarah crossed the square to school. I wonder who that little girl is, she thought to herself. What little girl is he going to look for? Just like at that moment, the father of the large family rode quickly away to the train headed for Moscow, where he would search everywhere for the little lost daughter of Captain Crewe. And that is the end of that chapter. See you later.